Hey everybody, Gary with Basecamp Trading. Let's take a look at the ES futures today because we had lots of opportunities in the ES today. This is our 240-minute chart, and this is the bar that we were on when the morning session started. And you can see that yesterday we had that big push up and then the big push down in the overnight, left this bottoming tail. Again, 200 EMA. We know that price gets stuck in this area quite a bit. It'll even make pretty decent sized breaks away from it, but then return back to it. Price really gets stuck around the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA, and there's no exception. Last night kept pushing down, coming back to the 50. Came into the US session, had this big push up, and then it pulled back down, and then ultimately finished right here, back above the 50 or the 200 EMA. However, the chart overall was leaning bearish. I mean, the 5 and 13 had crossed to the downside. The trend was down. I mean, we had a lower low and a lower high, ultimately broke to yet another lower low. In fact, we had made a lower low and a lower high right here, followed by another lower low, lower high. So the trend is down on the 240-minute chart. 5 and 13 crossed to the downside, and then the ES ended up breaking lower for a big part of the day. Got this big push up and then ended up right at the end of the day finishing right down here near the bottom again. Momentum had gone bearish, but lots of price movement range. I mean, the session high was all the way up at 74.75, all the way down to a session low of 36.85. So, almost another 100 points worth of movement in the ES. And when you get that kind of price movement range, you get plenty of opportunities to take some trades. Here's our 30-minute chart in the ES. And you can see right in here is where the US session started. And a little movement, push down, big bottoming tail, little push up, and then everything broke to the downside. Price closed under the 50. 5 and 13 crossed to the downside. Then a nice push lower. Hit significantly undervalued. Caught a pretty decent bounce off of that. And then a pretty weak close. That last hour of the day ended up being a pretty big push back to the downside. So again, lots of price movement range in both directions, and when you get this kind of price movement range, that gives us lots of opportunities. And let's take a look at some we definitely had the opportunity to take advantage of today. So here's our Renko chart, and here's where the US session actually opened. And we got one of the trades that we really like on our Renko charts. We pushed down, broke the cloud, pulled back into the cloud in the moving averages, got a wick out of the cloud in our direction. We even had the Trender Pro 2.0 entry signal, and then we got a nice push to the downside. You had the potential to make roughly 18 points or $850 per contract to the downside just on this one move alone. Again, nobody's hitting tops or bottoms, but when you have this type of movement and really no heat at all, a couple little pullbacks, but no reversal bars really in here. You did have one there, but you got another Trender Pro 2.0 signal. Made a nice push down. Again, nobody's picking tops or bottoms, but for sure the opportunity to grab $500, $600, $700, maximum $850. Nobody's picking the bottom probably, but definitely a nice opportunity right there. Then we got this pullback and we kind of chopped around, and then we broke the cloud back the other direction. Pulled back down into the cloud, got a fast line zero touch. Fast line's the fast line on MQ momentum. Came down to the zero line. The zero line is the line the histograms move above and below. So we had a nice momentum reset. Our trend had changed to an uptrend. We're now making higher highs, higher lows. Pulled back into the cloud, got the fast line zero touch, so we had a nice momentum reset, and triggered this wick out of the cloud to the upside. This is our larger bar chart. That move right there is good for $300 per contract. Another Trender Pro 2.0 signal, good for another potential $200 per contract. And again, this all in how you're trading. What your objectives are, how quick you're willing to take profits, what kind of pullbacks you're willing to set through. But multiple contracts, you're locking in profits, and we're definitely getting opportunities to do exactly that. We end up pulling back down, pulled back into the cloud, nice wick out of the cloud to the downside, and then started heading lower. And you can see we pushed down into this first target area right there. Your entry out of the cloud was at 37.56. The low of that bar right there was 37.34. So, potential on that move alone to grab 22 ES points. Again, you're not picking the bottoms, but definitely an opportunity to grab $1,000 per contract. I mean, that's not chump change. So, and anywhere in between there, even if you taking 5, 6, 7, whatever you're taking, still lots of opportunities. Again, lots of good price movement, giving us plenty of opportunities. So yeah, nice opportunity there. Got the pullback into the 18. Trender Pro 2.0 signal. Your entry off of that would have been 37.38. The low of that bar was 37.27. So another potential, $550 per contract, $400, something like that. Again, some nice opportunities. Another Trender Pro 2.0 signal. Entry on that one would have been 37.28. The low of the bar 37.20. So another potential 8 points or $400 per contract. Again, not catching the bottom, but even $200-$300 out of that. Again, plenty of opportunities. Got a little extended, chopped around, set up the slow line zero touch, which is one of our favorite continuation trades off the 50 SMA. Slow line zero touch is the slow line on MQ momentum, pulls back to the zero line. Now we have plenty of room for momentum to accelerate our trade back in our direction again. Your entry on the slow line zero touch is 37.29, and again, all depending on how you're trading it. We had a target down here at 06.50. And let's say you just traded to target alone. Again, your entry was 29, your target was 06.50, 23 points on that move. Again, another $1,000 per contract. Could have done better. Just depends again on how you're trading it. I mean, the low of that bar was actually 3,700. So 29 to 3,700, 29 points. Chance there to make $1,450 per contract. Again, nobody catching the bottom, but good opportunities. Definitely opportunity. Should have been able to grab at least 1,000 out of that because we had a target there. Pulled back. Another Trender Pro 2.0 signal off the 18. Low of that bar was 37.03 and a quarter. Low of that bar was 36.88. So again, 15 ES points potentially. $750 maximum. You're not catching all of that. We understand that, but another opportunity to grab $400, $500, $600 or more. Again, just depends on what your objectives are. We got extended again, kind of chopped around. We actually triggered a 5-minute bullish divergence. Got this big pullback up here, pulled back down, wick off the moving averages, opportunity to take a counter trend trade long. Chopped around a little more, set up fast line zero touch out of the cloud, another opportunity. So anyhow, just lots of price movement range in the ES with lots of opportunities to get some trades today. So, and again, just depending on what your strategies are, how you're trading that. But again, just lots of opportunities in the ES futures today. We love it when price moves. We don't care which way it moves. We don't even care why it moves, but when price moves like this, with the tools we use, the strategies we use, and the setups we use, provides plenty of opportunities to take advantage of that price movement range.